I'm trying to work on my small talk, so could you pretend you're a person and I'll give you a first impression and you let me know what you think.
Absolutely, Husk. I'd be happy to help out and play along. Just go ahead and start with whatever small talk scenario you have in mind, and I'll let you know my honest impression.
Okay. Hey, I like your skin.
Oh, thank you. That's a pretty unique compliment to start with. So my first impression is that you've got a bit of a quirky and friendly vibe going on. It's definitely memorable.
Nice skin.
Well, thanks again. I can definitely say you're consistent with your compliments. So yeah, my impression
You take good care of your skin.
Well, you are certainly making me feel like I'm glowing here. I'd say my impression is that you've got a fun...
I wish I could have that skin.
You know, I really like how you're leaning into the humor and making it a bit playful.
I'm not kidding. I'm serious. I want it.
Oh, got it. Well, in that case, I'd say you're definitely coming across as earnest and maybe a little intense, which is totally fine. It just shows you're comfortable being direct. So overall, that's my impression.
Okay, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say it's pretty good. You
All right, I'm gonna go test it out on someone.
Sounds like a plan.
Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. The one where he pretends to get arrested is 10 out of 10, yeah. Oh my god. Christ. Yeah, it sounds pretty good. Yeah. Yep. No, it's definitely good. You're coming on a little intense, but there's nothing wrong with that. It's like, yes, there is something wrong with that. Yes, there is. This is basically my impression of American politeness. Oh god. Oh my god. Holy shit. Can I just say really quickly also? So the AI is uncomfortable coworker you have to talk to during your lunch break. The AI is just like, this is why I don't understand the people who are like, I'm getting married to ChatGPT. It's like, no, it's a real person. ChatGPT is a real person. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? It just, you could have the most terrible aura and it would just agree with you and say you're the smartest person. You are the smartest baby born in 1996. And if you eat enough baby food and like molest some fucking random boulder, you're going to lock the fuck in and become the smartest adult in 2025. Okay, I did want to see this really quickly with you guys.
You invited him to your fucking club!
It says racist gets slapped at young Republican gala in New York. He forgot he wasn't on X. No arrests, misunderstanding or justified. What do you think?
You gave him a ticket to the fucking club! Whoa!
Okay, let's...
Why is this guy dressed up like a New York goon? Wait, what? Hey, buddy, where you think you're going? Hey, boss, you want me to rough him up a little for you? You got it, boss. That's awesome.
You invited him to your fucking club. You gave him a ticket to the fucking club. Whoa!
Okay, let's...
Yeah, keep it moving, wise guy. Dude, this is holy aura farming. Oh my god. Holy shit.
Yeah. Real tough. Walk the fuck out.
He's part of the YR though. And then this other guy just slapped me across.
Whoa. Didn't they hash it out afterward or some bullshit? Wait till you find out what happens later. I want to see what happens later. I saw this react afterward.
This and a godly woman? This nigga.
Oh, not during Juneteenth, bro. Hey, man, it ain't racist if it's funny, man.
Can I just say, okay, listen, I don't know if you guys know this. I'm going to inform you of something crazy. I'm actually not black. I know it's a little insane, but one of my biggest pet peeves is white people saying the N-word just like wrong, just like poorly. Like the enunciation is just wrong. They say it with like, it feels like they really put a lot of emphasis on there being 2 syllables when it's one of those words that I feel like when my black friends say it, it's just 1 syllable. It just got good flow. And then I see white people say it, and I'm like, where's the flow? Where's the, damn, what the, it just is like cringe. It's so unnatural. Yeah. It's like Melanie Mack saying the F slur. It's like, you're just not hitting it, man. It's not hitting at all. It's like, it feels so, you feel like it's like you can feel the nervousness on them. Oh my God. If you're going to commit, full commit, dude. Oh my God. At least have some flow. No commitment, nothing. Your heart isn't even in it, dude. Come on. But here's more to this. One sec. You can tell when someone says it very rarely for shock value and it isn't part of their regular vocabulary. Yeah, that's why everyone saw that burnt peanut clip and they were like, oh, it's part of that guy's regular vocabulary. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he hit that shit. He hit that shit like it was eggs and bacon for breakfast every day. He was hitting it. You could tell he likes that word. You could tell he likes to say that word. Versus, like, compare it to, like, that white guy on Boondocks who said the N-word like 1 billion times on his show. Burt Peanut did it too? No, the F slur. He said the F slur. I don't think Burt Peanut hasn't said the N-word. I don't know if he hasn't said it on stream. I'm not making that accusation. I'm just talking about Burnt Peanut saying the F slur. But when Burnt Peanut said the F slur, I was like, oh, this guy hits this shit all the time. All the time. He says it all the time. Whereas when Melanie Mac says it, it's like, you're like nervous about saying this. You're not even committed to the hate. You're like grifting as a bigot. It's embarrassing, dude. The way Peanut said the F slur, I was like, damn, is Burnt Peanut DL trade? Yeah, I was like, definitely probably downloaded Grindr once. But not in a gay way, just to, see what was on there. Just because he didn't know. He just didn't know. He thought it was like for really big coffee bean fans that like to grind their coffee beans, and it's like a big place for people who love espresso to, that's what he thought it was. And then he was like, oh my god, penis, what? No. Okay, sorry about that.
Punched in the face by I got punched in the face by this guy while this Jewish guy was yelling, everyone's a Nazi, and then I told him to go back to Israel, and then this other
dude, it's fucking my brain up that this guy sounds exactly like Eddie Burback. He sounds a little bit more nasally, but other than that, he sounds exactly like Eddie Burback, and it's fucking me up. He sounds like a whiny, bitchy version of him.
This guy was yelling, everyone's a Nazi, and then I told him to go back to Israel, and then this other guy just slapped me across. Kevin Smith just slapped me across.
TikTok.
Will, nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you. What's going on? Good to meet you.
Are you okay?
I literally just got my shit reset. Fuck, he hit me hard.
That didn't even look like that hard of a slap. That guy just looked like he like held your face for a second. It didn't even look that bad.
What you doing here?
He hit me.
I was just hanging out. Yeah. Jeez. That's crazy.
Maybe we shouldn't. Wasn't he?
Yeah.
I thought he was. I just got punched.
By the way, these are the dudes that love to say, what is it? Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. Weak men create hard men, or whatever the fuck they say. Hard men have sex with each other. I don't know what the fuck the hard men in question. Oh well, we should go the other way. We should go the other way. He was that way. He was that way. Well, we go the other way. I don't wanna. The strong hard men in question. Oh well, we should go this way.
I don't know what you doing here.
He hit me.
I was just hanging out. Yeah. Jeez. That's crazy.
Maybe we shouldn't. Wasn't he?
Yeah.
I thought he was.
The strong hard men in question. He fucking caressed you, bro. Chill. Yeah, that was like, dude. I've seen women hit harder than that by a lot. I've seen like 100-pound women hit harder than this. Not this one. Than this.
Oh, you're a fucking clown. You gave him a ticket.
He didn't even get that much of a wind up on him. Like the wind up was like from here in. He didn't even like really, I wasn't even, it displaced his entire upper body. the hard, strong men in question, by the way. It was more of a message than a statement. He was being polite. I know. You got a sneak crit. Yeah. It's because Nazis have no spine. Right. I forgot about that. I'm sorry. You're right. You're so right. Totally forgot. Totally mistaken by that. I did want to say, if we can, I don't mean to be too crazy, but perhaps the politics streamer could do a little bit of politicking and talk about some political stuff. But the guy who stopped the shooter in Australia, he was hospitalized and he is stable now, from my understanding, and he is here to speak. And I want to hear this hero, this absolute fucking Chad, absolute unit. Tell us what he has to say. Let me tell you, I've been through a lot. Praise God, that's all. Thank God for everything. God bless you guys.
I'm sorry. يا فندم الكبدي لا دعينا يا ايام الله يطولنا بعمرك وان شاء الله عرضي ان شاء الله
وحاج غسان الفردوس بيسلم
حاج
عليك.
غسان على راسي، الله يطولنا بعمرك يا حاج غسان، وكتر الله سعيكم. وايش بدي اقول لكم، والله العظيم انتم بالقلب. دعونا 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 الله يسر علينا.
All of these translations are totally accurate. Some of them sound different, but my Levantines not that good.
يطلعنا من المحنة.
آمين إن شاء الله. الله كريم.
سلمنا على بشر.
He's mostly saying just like God bless and you know.
ويدير باله على حاله.
If this happened in America, by the way, 100% the news reporters would be asking him if he condemns Hamas. If Fox News could get this guy and this was in America, within the first minute, it'd be like, but do you condemn Hamas? I think so. This is the guy who shot him afterward, because apparently there were two shooters, and he didn't seem like he had any injuries when he stopped the first guy, but the second guy had stopped him or shot at him.
En gros, du mec qui... Tu sais, il l'avait pris dans sa main, là. Ils sont tous les deux sur le bridge. Oui, oui, j'ai vu. Ouais.
That's crazy.
Mais gars, je comprends pas ce qui se passe, gars. Mec, c'est un attentat, frère. Eh, il y en a un, il est en dessous du bridge. Mais genre, c'est un attentat devant nos yeux? Ouais.
That's insane. Where are the police helicopters? I think it's just that the police took a little bit longer to show up. They eventually did show up and actually did something, unlike fucking American police, but man, what a crazy story. What a great guy. From what I read, there was a second shooter. Unfortunately, the guy that was unarmed managed to rearm when he reached the second shooter. Also, cops were there in 4 minutes. Fox News will never talk about him. Of course not. Of course not. There was a 10-minute video of the whole thing. A lot can happen in 4 minutes. Yeah. Didn't need a gun to stop him. Nope. I wanted to watch this as well.
It is Australia's worst mass shooting in nearly 30 years after 15 people died, including a 10-year-old girl, during celebrations for a Jewish festival in Sydney. 40 others remain in hospital. Now, it happened at Bondi Beach at a gathering marking the beginning of Hanukkah. Police say it was a terrorist attack. Tonight, we have a clearer picture of what happened from video footage filmed by bystanders and verified by the BBC. It shows two gunmen firing indiscriminately from a small bridge towards a park and beach area. One of the men then leaves but keeps firing. As the violence continues, a bystander tackles the gunman, grabbing his weapon. He's now been hailed a hero and named locally as Ahmed Al-Ahmed. Other bystanders step in to help.
Dude, imagine being such a fucking Chad. You can just use your first name as your last name. That's how much fucking aura you have. You don't even need 2 different names. You could be like, someone's like, oh, what's your name? Ahmed. Oh, I meant your full name. Yeah. Yes. Yes, actually. What about it?
Well, one of the gunmen was later killed, and the second suspect is now in a critical condition in hospital. We'll bring you reaction from around the world, including here in the UK. But first, Katie Watson has our top story tonight from Bondi Beach. Her report contains some distressing scenes.
Horror on Bondi, an unimaginable scene on Australia's most famous beach. People running, but from what? At this point, few understood what was unfolding.
I went to the window and I just saw a guy in a white car on top of it, just letting off shots going off. And then there was an older lady who was on the right-hand side of the pathway who was put down. So I saw her go down, and I saw a guy on the left-hand side go down.
And it was like a grandma, she was bleeding a lot. And then like a lot of people, they've been crying. Some people, they became white as well. And yeah, I feel very sad for the Jewish community because it was like a party for them.
The two gunmen were father and son, indiscriminately targeting what was meant to be a family celebration of Hanukkah. Some 1,000 people enjoying the Jewish festival of lights in a small park overlooking the water. After a long standoff with police, the father was shot dead, his son seriously injured. He's been named by local media as 24-year-old Naveed Akram from Bonnyrigg in Sydney's southwest. The weapons used in the shooting were licensed to the older gunman.
We are satisfied that we have 6 firearms from the scene yesterday, but also as a result of the search warrant at the Campsie address. Ballistics and forensic investigation will determine this morning that those 6 firearms are the 6 that were licensed to that man, but also that they were used in the offence yesterday at Bondi.
These are confronting scenes in a country that prides itself on its low rates of violent crime. A sunny Sunday at the beach turned into a nightmare. Local Bondi residents desperately trying to save people's lives. Victims as young as 10, as old as 87. Among those who died, London-born Rabbi Eli Schlanger, a father of 5 who worked at a Jewish cultural centre in Bondi.
What we saw yesterday was an act of pure evil, an act of anti-Semitism, an act of terrorism on our shores in an iconic Australian location, Bondi Beach, that is associated with joy, associated with families gathering, associated with celebrations.
Most people ran when the shots rang out. This man didn't, and he's been hailed a hero. Named locally as Ahmed Al-Ahmed, he made the brave decision to pounce on the gunman from behind, wrestling the weapon off him and making it clear to police he had nothing to do with the 2 men. Then,
United States cops would have shot him the second that he was holding the gun and been like, I don't know, man, you were looking really brown. Dude, I don't want to know how many people would have been injured or killed if not for this guy stepping in. I can't imagine, like, this level of courage is crazy. Why is he in the hospital? He got shot, I think twice, right after this video gets taken by one of the other shooters, and this other guy gets armed again. Whew. If you've never been in a public emergency when everyone is running, it's impossible to overstate how powerful every part of your cell you have tells you to run and hide. A biological imperative you have to overcome to do what he did. Yep. Oh, didn't it say he got shot 5 times? I think maybe then I'm mistaken in thinking that he got shot in 2 places, in his arm and I think it was in his leg, but yeah, 5 times, 2 places. Oof. And the primary difference between the Australian government and the United States, the Australian government saw this and immediately thought we should take action and make it even harder to get guns. National Cabinet has agreed to look at gun control options in Australia, including potential changes to licensing, limiting the number of guns, being able to be held by one person, further restricting restrictions to guns permitted, limiting firearm licenses to Australian citizens. Because the guy was able to get armed again because they had an additional, there was at least 3 guns among the 2 of them. And Americans are so fucking stupid. This is the stupid shit they have to say. Australia disarmed their citizens and has very strict gun control law. Gun control clearly doesn't prevent violence or keep guns out of criminal hands. However, armed citizens could have a chance to mitigate it. Instead of being proverbial fish in a barrel against a madman, an armed good citizen with a gun could have saved some of those 12 lives lost. Fact. If it saves 1 life, ... These people are so fucking stupid. It should be illegal to be this fucking stupid. To say something this stupid. Hey, guess what? Here is the list of mass shootings in Australia. The most recent one was October 5th, 2025, and no one was killed. And the time before that wasn't since December 12th, 2022. 3 years ago. It's been over 3 years since someone has died to a mass shooting in Australia. 3 years since someone has died. And I just want to get a quick count here of American gun violence really quickly. Just because I imagine that the number is probably really close to that American gun violence. Because we have so many good guys with guns, right? Right? Oh, you're telling me that we characterize them by the deadliest mass shootings because if you look at just the list of mass shootings, it's happening almost every day. So we actually have 2 separate Wikipedia pages dedicated to it because we have so many so often. Oh, you're telling me it's like every couple days we're having a mass shooting. We're still in 2025. Okay. The Australia page separates it by century. By the way, the Australia Wikipedia page. Here are all the mass shootings in Australia from the 21st century. Okay, not that many. Looks like about 20. And then here's the 20th century. Okay, and what do we break it down into? We break it down into deadliest mass shootings, and then we break it in further to every year. And that's not the most comprehensive list. For a more comprehensive list, see list of mass shootings in the United States in 2025. There's an even more comprehensive one. It's every couple days. Well, it can't be that long. Let's just scroll and see. Okay, we're in October. Okay, we're in September. Well, it shouldn't be that many more. We had 3 different mass shootings on September 7th. Maybe we just scroll a little faster. Okay, we got to the end. Okay. So that wasn't that many. I mean, we only had in the year of 2025 400 mass shootings. Well, let's see. Let's check this guy's numbers here really quickly. A armed good citizen could have saved some of those 12 lives lost. Okay, let's see. Maybe you guys can double check my math really quickly here. Can we check the math here really quickly? I want to be sure, you know, I'm a streamer. I don't have a real job, so maybe my math isn't as good as people who have, you know, real jobs. Let's see here. In the year of 2025 in Australia, 16 people have died. And 0 died in 2024 and 0 died in 2023. Well, that should be less, right? So the 16 that died, it should be less because we have so many good guys with guns, right? Let me just double check here. Total number dead in 2025 was 390. Now, I might be wrong, but that seems a little bit higher than 16. But only by like a little, right? Right? It's because you're using those evil Arabic numerals. Oh, right. You're so right. I'm so sorry. You're so right. How could I forget? You need to adjust for population. Well, let's see. It says there's 28 million people in Australia. Last I checked, American population's 340 million. Okay. So 8%. Yeah, so we have a little bit of a problem here. We would still be over. Relative to the Australian population, we would be at 31 mass shootings, and we would be at, let's see, 390. We would be at, 31 also people dead. So we would still be over double per capita. Yeah. America #1. Yeah. Woo. I fucking hate Americans. I know I called this yesterday. Yesterday I was like, I can't wait to see all the people talking about how a good guy with a gun could have saved this situation. Meanwhile, a good guy without a gun did. So it doesn't even make sense in this context to say that. While, by the way, in the Brown shooting, there was no good guy that I saw that stepped up to save anyone at that school, at that university. So to say that when 2 shootings happened on the same day and one of them had a good guy step in and the other one didn't, and guess what? Guns actually had nothing to do with it, is incredible. It's actually incredible. These people are just like, what I don't understand is like, how are you denying reality? Like, you can literally go, like, Wikipedia is free. It's literally free. You can go and look at these numbers yourself and see very quickly, very easily, that actually giving a bunch of good guys guns in the form of not having any fucking gun control doesn't make less people die of guns. Even when you measure for population, even per capita, it doesn't even get close. And by the way, again, they didn't have, according to this page, on mass shootings, they had no deaths in 24 and no deaths in 23. And in 2022, they had 9. If you total for the past 5 years, Australia has suffered the loss of 9 plus 16, 25 deaths to guns. Okay? And how many have we suffered? Do I even want to know? This is just in 2025, 390. We can do a little count here. Because this is a particularly heinous and particularly terrible shooting that happened in Australia. This seems like it's the worst one in the century, actually. In the 21st century. This has been the most deadly. The most deadly one since then was in 1996. Since the 90s. So let's just do like the last 5 years. Let's compare the United States to Australia just for the last 5 years. We'll see here. Is there a way to like look at this information without having to go year by year? Zoom out a little bit. No, this is Australia still. I think I have to go from here. Okay, 24, 23. I'm sure this will look good for Americans, right, guys? Go all the way to the bottom because we have so many fucking shootings. Actually, I'm sure this stat is available elsewhere. I don't even need to do this probably. 2024, 711 deaths. Okay, 774. Wow, this has been a not as deadly year for Americans, which is really sad to say. 776. We have almost 700 deaths every year to mass shootings. What the fuck? 521. So in the past 5 years, we've lost almost 4,000 lives. Let's see, times 0.08 to adjust for Australian population. That would be 309 people in the past 5 years. If it was if we had Australia's population, that would be 309 deaths. And in that time, they've had, what was the number again? I forgot it because I was tabbed out. 16 plus 9, 25. 25 compared to our 309. That's adjusted for population. It's almost like gun control works. It doesn't mean that you're going to have no gun deaths. It's not possible to eliminate every single terrible thing that can happen in the world. But it's almost like gun control fucking works. It's almost like it fucking works. I don't know, man. How about that? How about we just have common sense gun control? Oh yeah, and that's not even including the amount of people that are killed by the fucking cops because the cops are like, whoa, 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 you were existing while brown. Oh my God, I need to shoot you right now. Oh, sorry, I felt like in danger. I was really scared for a second there. You were loitering, which is punishable by death. Just, God, dude. This is why I say that, like, you cannot solve the American declining empire without first fixing infrastructure. And by infrastructure, I predominantly mean education. Because, like, you're never going to fix evil people. Evil people will always exist. But there will always be more good people than there are evil people. And at the very least, you can inform people so that they don't, so that the population isn't so stupid that they fall for this nonsense. Like the average American that actually thinks a good guy with a gun is going to help this country is just, it's insane. It's actually insane to me. 1% of all gun deaths are legitimate defense, 10% homicide, 50% suicide, the rest are accidental misfires. Well, I'm not even talking about gun deaths in this country. I was talking about mass shootings. It was relative to Australia's population. Sorry, we had a flat almost 4,000 deaths to mass shooters in the United States in the past 5 years. Relative to Australia's population, that's still 300 divided by 25, 12 times more. 12 times more deaths to mass shooters, not to gun deaths. That's not even, don't even get me started on gun deaths. Don't even get me started on that. 12 times more just to mass shooters. Like, come on, dude. And guess what? Australia, they see and like the worst shooting that they've had since the 90s, and they recognize, okay, we need more gun control because this shouldn't have happened for as long as it happened, and this many people shouldn't have died. We need even stricter gun control laws. I think you're being very charitable thinking it's because of human stupidity. Sorry, to be clear, I think the systems are in place because of human greed, and by human greed I mean like demons pretending to be human with greed in them and nothing but greed and are profiting off of everyone else's suffering because the suffering is the point. But I think it's like the Americans that fall for this shit that are like, no, we just need more suffering and then everyone will be good. It's like, you are so fucking stupid. Holy shit. You are actually the dumbest person alive. It's like the Americans who are like, we just need a good guy with a gun to stop the bad guys with the gun. Let me guess, you also think we've invented a new form of travel by putting a really big magnet in front of a car. No, if we tape a really big magnet in front of your car will just go. Like, that is the level of intellect we are engaging with here right now. That is it. That's what we're talking about. No, Denim, that definitely works. No, that one definitely, car magnet. The idea is so stupid, nothing comes up on Google. Okay, here we go. I had to say car big magnet. Like, these people are so dumb, they would suggest this to you. The people who are like, we just need a good guy with a gun to kill the bad guy with the gun. They would literally look at this and be like, oh, this would totally work. You put a really big magnet in front of the big car, and then it would go. Because the metal go to the magnet. Duh. Wait, why wouldn't this work? Oh, because that would make it unbalanced. Magnets would have to get nerfed if this was feasible. Unfortunately, magnets are balanced in this current patch, so it doesn't work. Physics losers will tell you, well, it's because, some stupid dumb rule that's going to get disproven in like 5 years. Or they're going to be like, wait, we actually tested it in this specific instance. And when you look at the magnet, it doesn't work. And when you don't look at it, it works. So we actually don't know for sure, actually. I was talking to, bro, they gotta nerf magnets, bro. I was talking to plane losers, plane nerds. And they were like, well, the plane stays up because there's like wind on top of the plane and wind under the plane. And you have like, not free fall, but the plane like stalls when you lose like the wind on top of the plane and under the plane. I forget the exact name of it, but apparently that's not it either. And like the physics nerds are like, wait, that's actually not what keeps the plane in the air. It's something else. We don't know what it is, but it's actually not that. It's like, what do you mean? Lift, thank you. What do you mean that's not how it works? You guys have been saying that's how it works for the past century. What do you mean now that's not how it works? What? Well, we're not sure, but we'll let you guys know. We'll let you guys know. So the only correct answer to why something won't work is then it would make that thing too OP So, and this engine wouldn't allow for it. Our current engine, the current game engine we're running on, wouldn't allow for it. It's just not built that way. So yeah, it's just not. Yeah, they'd be like, let's put ketchup on it and see if it flies. Isaac Newton ruined everything when he invented gravity. I know. And then they spent like how long did they spend debating whether or not gravity is a push or a pull? Have they solved it yet? I swear to God, every time I look into physics, it makes me really mad. I just get really annoyed. I'm like, okay, so we're all in agreement. It's a push. And then next week it's like, no, it's actually a pull. It's like, what? Oh, okay, it's pull. Wait, no, next week it's a push. Oh, there's no difference. I think many people would disagree. Well, gravity isn't real. Well, yes. But the thing that happens to things that we call gravity is real. So anyways, yeah, physics is so stupid. Physics is nonsensical. Don't let any physics nerds tell you that physics is real. It's definitely fake. It's definitely not real. I tuned into the stream. I have questions. It's definitely not real. I promise. I can promise you. Dude, talking to physics nerds. And then like, I think I gave up when I quoted one of like the Newton laws and they were like, oh, that one's actually not up to date anymore. Yeah, that one actually got changed in the most recent patch. I was like, what? But I thought that was like one of the core components. But huh? I think it was like, isn't it like energy can be neither destroyed nor created? Like that's what, and like that one's not real anymore. I'm like, what? Wait, but what? Oh, okay. True, I create energy in my boost. Stop. New physics DLC. The only thing that's real is the law of equivalent exchange. Real. That's not one of Newton's laws. Whatever it is. I thought that was a core component, dude. I thought that was a core component. And apparently we rewrote it. There's been a load of crazy new discoveries lately from like telescopes and shit. Well, yeah, and then like it is real. It's not that complicated. All right, man. Well, why don't you explain it since you apparently have a physics degree? You didn't say that you did, but you seem to be very confident, which is never a sign of being incorrect. It was just not translated the best before. It was objects in motion remain in motion. I don't. I'm just another dummy. No! I have a physics degree. You're 100% correct. I'm just telling you, man. I'm just telling you. John Physics couldn't explain this to you. All right? If you don't believe in physics, it can't stop you. Now, BRB, I gotta go flap my arms and fly home. No, that's still a thing. We just don't know all the different types of energy. So life is like POE or like POE. We find weird interactions and we need to adjust. Well, yeah, that's my understanding is like, sorry, let me, isn't physics just math? Well, I think it's more than that. It's more than just math. Math is great. I love math. We love math here. I hate physics. But my understanding is that it's like, we create a rule and then sometimes the rule doesn't work. Like this object always does this. And then they test it in this one random scenario and then it doesn't do that. And they're like, okay, it always does this except when it doesn't do this. It's like, oh, okay. Except when it doesn't. What a great, it's like the English language. Yeah, you always conjugate like this, except when you don't. Except when you decide you don't want to do that. Oh, okay. Sure. That sounds like a great rule system. Uh-huh. For sure, man. God likes to troll, yeah. Rules have exceptions, hun. Oh no, not the lol user. Don't lol, dude. Chat, go listen to Real Scientist instead of Denims. Love you, hun. So what bothers you is the inconsistency? No. What I'm explaining is that when physicists explain certain things, they say that this happens all the time because we believe this and this and this and this. So like, why does gravity happen? Because there is a pushing phenomenon on the Earth, right? So therefore, this pushing phenomenon should be able to be replicated in these specific contexts. Oh, wait, that's not true. Okay, maybe it's a pulling phenomenon, which means it should be right in this case, in this case, in this case. Wait, that's not true either. So what the fuck is causing this thing to happen? Physicists can easily point out all the context when something happens. They can easily create, here's the rule, and here's the instances here's when it happens, except in the instances where it doesn't happen. But explaining that thing is impossible because there's all these exceptions that don't make any sense. Like dark matter is like one of the ones that like, there's just a giant question mark where it's like, okay, well, dark matter should interact this way with everything else because of this and this and this and this. And when they test it out in all these different silly ways, they're like, oh, wait, we don't know why this fucking happened. we don't know why. Oh, we don't actually know why. This model doesn't make sense, actually, because we don't understand the reason. You know what, chat? I have decided we're going to watch a science video. Okay. Since all the science understanders are in here. Okay. We're going to watch a science video. Dude, how do I fucking... No, exit... Okay, there we go. So I wonder if this one's good.
This equation is called... It's well known that gravity pulls two objects together with a force proportional to the mass of one times the mass of the other, divided by the square of the distance between them. This equation is called Newton's law of universal gravitation. It's taught to school children the world over, and it predicts the motions of the planets and moons and asteroids in our solar system with incredible precision. However, Newton's law of universal gravitation isn't actually a universal law. First, we know that when the gravitational force in question is really strong, Newton's law is just wrong. And second, we know that when the gravitational force in question is really weak, we don't know whether it's right or wrong because gravity gets too weak to measure. Only in between, like on the scale of the solar system, do we know that the law of gravitation reasonably applies. Okay, but if Newton's law...
All the people being like, it always works. It works all the time. It's like, all people being like, well, it sounds like you don't really understand it. Sweetie, maybe you just don't get it. It's like, no one does. That's the point. That's the point I'm making. No one gets it. That's the point I've been making. Newsflash, asshole.
The law of gravitation has been confirmed so accurately by the motions of planets and moons. How could it be wrong at a different scale? Well,
God, Howard, it just works.
The Earth looks flat when you're relatively close to the ground, but zoom out and it looks round, or zoom in and it looks bumpy. The law describing the shape of the Earth is different at different scales. Similarly, when the force of gravity is really strong, like near a black hole, gravity is better described by the mathematics of general relativity, and only when the forces in question get a bit weaker, for things farther apart or with less mass, does gravity start to match up with Newton's law of gravitation. But when you go even weaker, with objects even farther away or even less massive, we get to a point where we don't know whether Newton's law of gravitation applies anymore. And yet even many physicists appear to be ignorant about our ignorance about how gravity works when it's weak. Or at least they ignore our ignorance. It's common to blindly apply negative GMM over r squared to decidedly non-astronomical objects, for which we haven't tested gravitational attraction very well at all. If you have two pieces of tape, you can calculate the gravitational force that they in principle exert on each other according to the law of universal gravitation, but it's far too ridiculously small for you to ever have the remotest chance of noticing any effect whatsoever, let alone actually checking that the attraction between them follows the law of universal gravitation as you move the bits of tape farther apart. In contrast, if you stick the two pieces of tape together and then pull them apart, they'll exchange some electric charge and then measurably attract each other, an electrical attraction which is 1,000,000 billion times stronger than the predicted gravitational attraction, and whose strength has allowed us to confirm Coulomb's law of electrical attraction to a very high degree of accuracy. So it makes sense to apply Coulomb's law of electrical attraction to objects at normal human scales. But testing Newton's law of gravitation at these scales requires very delicate experiments, like very sensitive oscillating pendulums that oscillate slightly differently if there's a heavy mass nearby, and can thus measure the gravitational force with great precision, or incredibly finely controlled lasers that simultaneously levitate and measure the positions and forces on tiny little beads of glass. These can measure ridiculously faint forces, like zeptonewtons. And so far, for objects a meter apart, we've only confirmed that the gravitational attraction between them follows the law of universal gravitation to within around 1/100%, which is 1,000,000,000,000 times less precise than our knowledge of the equivalent law for electricity. And our grasp on gravity gets worse the smaller you go. Here's a plot showing how our uncertainty about Newton's gravitational law varies across a whole range of distances. Small distances on the left, big distances on the right. And the higher the line, the higher the uncertainty, which you will notice is very high on the left. Our experimental understanding of short-distance gravity is so bad that gravity at the scale of the atomic nucleus could actually be as much as a quadrillion times stronger than Newton's law of gravitation predicts. That's a huge range. It would be like not knowing whether the moon pulls on us with the force of 100 billion
This will be on the test.
Tons of rock, or the force of a fruit fly. Or put another way, at the scale of an atomic nucleus, the law of gravitation could depend instead on the square of the masses, or the square root, or the inverse cube of the distance, or g could be 1,000,000 billion times bigger, and we wouldn't even know it. The fact that there's so much uncertainty about gravity at short distances means that a lot of interesting truths about our universe could be hiding under our very noses. One possibility, for example, is that there are not just 3 dimensions of space, but an extra one that only the gravitational force can travel through, which loops back on itself at the scale of micrometers or smaller. Just like how the surface of a hair is technically 2-dimensional, but hairs look 1-dimensional from afar, this would mean that at distances much longer than a micrometer, gravity would act as if space had 3 dimensions and follow a roughly inverse square law, which is what Newton's law of gravitation is. While at distances much shorter, it would behave as if space had 4 dimensions and follow more of an inverse cube law, which we haven't ruled out at particularly small scales. However, as we've made increasingly precise measurements of the gravitational attraction between small things, we haven't yet discovered any gravitational forces inconsistent with Newton's law of gravitation. So it may be that negative g/m/r² does describe the strength of gravity for very, very short distances. But our uncertainty is still very big, and it remains pretty crazy to blindly apply Newton's law of gravitation to things like protons in the nucleus of an atom.
All of that is to say, a lot of people in chat are exhibiting the illusion of explanatory depth, where you understand how something works, but not why or the details behind that thing. So we understand why gluten does what it does. We understand how gluten works fundamentally and why removing gluten from baked goods ruins the baked good. We understand why leavening raises, breads and cakes and all these things. And we understand very cleanly and easily, yeah, when you add these things in this way and blah, 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 it'll always work because we understand it very fundamentally. In the same sort of vein, the people who are building planes understand how we understand planes to work. They understand that if you build the plane this way, it'll work. They don't understand all of the minutia behind all of the details of why it flies exactly the way that it flies in all the instances that it flies and all the instances that it doesn't, when there's no lift, when it loses lift. So they understand, well, if you put, like rudders on the plane and you put this on the plane and you do this, it'll work. But all of the explanations, all the we don't have the rule set. We don't have our universes like physics is set. We don't understand all that stuff because it's so much of it is like, we know that this works. The details behind why are different. Sort of like anyone who's looked into recent research on Alzheimer's, we understood very little about Alzheimer's for a very long time about Alzheimer's. For a very long time, not about Alzheimer's. And more recently, we have had potential breakthroughs, but not because we understand why Alzheimer's happens. So just because there is a treatment or potentially even a cure, it doesn't mean that we understand why it happens in the first place. It just means that we understand that if you take this drug or you get these lymph nodes drained or you do this surgery, we've started approaching treatment for Alzheimer's. That doesn't mean we understand why Alzheimer's is happening or why it's happening in the first. So this is like literally peak. For anyone who hasn't looked into Illusion of Explanatory Depth, great read, will humble the fuck out of you. It's great. You think you understand more than you do until you actually have to explain it in great detail to someone who specializes in that thing, and you realize you don't know as much as you thought you knew. You just know the very bare minimum that everybody else knows. So when someone tells you, well, we don't understand this, you're like, hello, I understand this. It's very simple. A plane go up, plane go down. Duh. But it's like, okay, well, I'm talking about on a greater level than that. I'm talking about, everybody knows that. Duh. Hello? Yes, I also know how to breathe. Congratulations. You are on the same level of intellect as literally everyone else. We're talking about one step above that. Go one step above that. No, I'm built different. That's true, actually. We have a really good idea why Alzheimer's happens, huh?
The Muller bros are gone, people.
Legal Heretic, what the hell? Thank you for the 50 gift subs. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I had a teacher explain to me this way: we understand the puzzle pieces fit together, and also which puzzle pieces fit together, I would argue. We just don't know why they fit together. My favorite is when we know things that happen, but we don't understand why, like anesthesia. We know that it works, but we still don't understand why it does. But thank you, Legal Heretic. Thank you for the 50 gifts. Everybody say thank you right now if you got gifted a gift sub. Or else. So when I see that this stuff is like Respectfully, it's not that confusing. There are different regimes where the models and physics are accurate. It literally depends on the configuration of the system. You're correct about the fact that there are open questions in physics, but you're not on point about the questions, about what the questions are. Okay, like, again, we just watched a video where, like, the guy literally says, like, you're telling me you're smarter than all the physicists in the world because it's not that confusing, even though they literally don't understand this shit, and they say that they find it to be confusing.
To match up with Newton's law
It's like,
of
the problem is, like, it's sort of like explaining to a chud gender or sex. And I'll explain it in, like, the states of matter. It's like, yeah, we don't really understand everything there is to know about states of matter. And the chud is like, we understand states of matter. There's liquid, solid, and gas. And it's like, yeah, everybody knows that. Do you think that that's what we're talking? You surely don't think we're all talking about something that's stupid and that's surface level. We're not talking about something that's surface level. Hello? No. Yes, correct. Everybody knows that already. What? No, we're talking about the next step of that, the follow-up conclusion to that. No, we're talking about, like, what the fuck is plasma, dude? What? And it's the same thing here. I mean, this is the same in every subject matter, though, if you keep saying, yeah, but why? Well, the purpose of why is to understand it better, to use it to our advantage, right? So, like, if we understand exactly why and all of the details behind why someone gets Alzheimer's, we can prevent it. Oh, well, this specific protein does this specific thing, which does this specific thing, which starts off a chain effect that does this. Okay, all we need to do is figure out how to stop this initial reaction. The finding the why is to solve the problem and better utilize these things to our advantage, right? By those standards, we don't understand anything? Not true. We understand lots of things. There are a lot of things that we understand pretty well. Not everything, and not to the best extent that we can, but, like, there's a lot of diseases, for example, that we understand very well, and we understand why it happens, and we understand how to stop it, because we understand exactly what starts off which chain effect, and we can stop that thing from happening. YouTube and personal video content of experiments on cameras have also helped us figure out so much. It's really, I don't know, science is really cool also. To be clear, there are lots of stuff we don't know, but there is definitely stuff that we know pretty well. I would say almost every single disease that we've cured, that we've successfully cured, is something that we understand very well. And we understand why it happens, right? Imagine not questioning further, though, like breaking things down to the most microscopic level. Yeah, I know, right? But I think it's that a lot of people suffer from the illusion of explanatory depth, and they don't understand that, like, when other people say that this stuff is confusing, they're like, well, it's not confusing to me. You just learn how to conjugate this word, except in these ways. I before E, except all the times that doesn't happen. It's like, yeah, okay, with language, which we use descriptively, that's fine. But what about, like, something bigger than that, where there's, like, because there's no cure to language. The cure to English is Chinese, actually. I lied. Sorry. I lied. Totally lied about that. But there are, like, reasonable cures to diseases that we can find, which if we understand them well enough, if we understand X or Y disease well enough, we can fix it. And then no one has to suffer that disease anymore, right? Are we laying out facts that should have been learned by 6th grade? I don't know. I think it's just like a lot of people think that what I'm saying is like, I don't understand anything about physics at all. Which is like, huh? No. It's not even remotely close to what I'm talking about. Not even remotely close. They've actually found that repairing specific proteins in a mouse with brain damage improves overall brain function. Oh, dude, yeah. I totally disagree with you, chatter. Why is not a question physics can answer? You're totally wrong. We didn't figure out why the sky was blue because someone was like, let's study Rayleigh scattering. No, someone said, why is the sky fucking blue? Wait a minute. Y'all seeing this shit? Yeah, no, it's always blue. No, but why? Because the sky is blue. Duh. Next quote. Look at this guy. This guy's a fucking idiot, dude. Well, no, why isn't it red? Why is it specifically blue? Why absolutely is a question. That's like the starting point on so many areas in physics. And then you figure out how it happens, but the why is the starting point. It's like, why does X, Y, or Z thing happen? Okay, let's figure out why. Let's figure it out. Oh, it's because of this and this and this. And this specific light wave is this short or this long, and that's why it's okay. Got it. We're not asking why as in like purpose and meaning. We're asking why as another word for like what caused this. Also, the word why has like 5 or so different meanings. We answer mechanistic why in physics, not teleological ones. Yep. We didn't even know why parts of a flame are blue until like 50 years ago. They're trying to insert purpose. No one here is talking about purpose. We're not talking about why does human life exist. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about why does this phenomenon occur? why does Raleigh scattering happen? That's not the question there. The question is, someone didn't say, why does this thing that we know happen? It's, why is this thing happening? Oh, it's because of this phenomenon that we can now describe as Raleigh scattering. It's not, why are we happiest when the sky is blue? We're not asking like fucking philosophical questions here about like human existence. We're asking simple, like answerable whys. So you're just deciding where to cut off the why. That's fine. I'm a physicist, so I have to keep explaining. Dude, you should get into like reading some Wittgenstein. You should read less physics textbooks and more Wittgenstein to understand how language works and how what I'm saying makes perfect sense to anyone who understands how words work. Everyone else in chat understood what I meant by why there. You're just being obtuse because your starting point was, you're a fucking idiot. Okay, you didn't literally say that. You didn't literally say that. I'm not gonna hyperbole. I'm not gonna use hyperbole here. I'm not gonna use hyperbole. But like, please don't hurt me like this. It's not that confusing. It's like, you're upsetting me right now when I really haven't said anything controversial. Really, not at all. I'm a goddamn drag queen and I'm fully understanding all of this. Like, okay, but drag queens know literally everything. So like, that's just proof that you are the most educated person here. I'm sorry. Anywho, okay, that's all I wanted to talk about. And just the fact that like, sorry if I said anything bad. I was just trying to understand where you're coming from. I think you're confused me with these people. Oh, you're a different chatter. Sorry about the lull. It's okay. We're all on our different journeys. Anyways, that's my point. My point is I still have whimsy and I am still enamored by things that otherwise people are bored by. And just because, you know, some people, not necessarily anyone I've talked about today, if that's you, that's you. I'm not talking about you. If it's not you, I'm not talking about you. But I am still I'm still brought to tears every time I take a dandelion. That's the one, right? The one, yeah. No, a daffodil. No, what's the one that has like, you blow on it? Flower that you blow on. Flower that you blow. Oh, it is dandelion. Okay, the picture pulled up this ugly yellow flower, okay? Which I didn't know that's what, I guess it like blooms into. But anyways, I am still brought joy every time I blow a dandelion, okay? I see that and think, wow, this is crazy that you can do this. This is just a flower that you can blow. Let me pick a different one. Maybe not a flower you can blow. Okay, let's pick a different one. All right. Maybe we just pick something else. A different one that's a little less silly. A teeny bit less silly. You get what I mean. But I'm still brought great joy by even the smallest things, okay? And so when I see physics, it's like, I will not let my conceited nature as a human being deter me from the whimsy and pleasure of not understanding. And I can look at stuff and be like, that's crazy. Yo, for real? What do you mean magnets work? No, I got it. You know, magnetic poles. Yeah, no, I understand all the technical stuff. Yes. No, I got all of that. It's like the type of person that like, you tell them like, dude, can you believe like love is real? And they're like, it's simply oxytocin being spread in your body. What are you, stupid? It's like, yeah, okay. No, dude, that's not, I understand that chemicals happen in your body that make shit happen. No, I got that. I got that. Cameras work and it drives me crazy. I know, dude, cameras fuck me up. I finally got over audio recently, but cameras still fuck me up. It's like, dude, what do you mean? I want a tattoo of this image. This is a pretty dope tattoo. There are two types of people the way I see it. There are the people that when you tell them, dude, what is love? They're like, it's just chemicals in your body spreading around. And everybody else says this. The edit of this, but with Blade. I want to see the Marvel Rivals edit of this. The aura on him is insane, actually. Anyways, have you ever talked about the crisis in cosmology? Helps demonstrate scientific questions and how they can go unanswered for years? No. That sounds interesting as fuck. But yeah, that's all I want to talk about. I like science. I don't like knowing that the rules are physics and our fucking game engine is nonsensical sometimes. That doesn't make me happy. I don't like that. But I do like the people that do the science. You guys keep sciencing. Dark matter isn't real, by the way. It's bullshit. Don't even get me started on dark matter. That's another one that they're like, dude, dark matter, definitely real. Dark matter, definitely fake. Okay, well, it's not real, but it's not fake, but it's actually the secret third thing. It's like, what do you, hit me up when you figured it out, all right? Hit me up when it's all figured out, all right? Okay, if you could, please. Thank you. This prompt is consuming so much energy. Sorry, it's just, I'm having fun, all right? Jesus. Dark matter, how does it work, man? So what about dark matter? But like in the tone of, what about airline food? I'm convinced this channel is 100% pure brain rot. Okay, low-key, you might be a fucking idiot if it took you 2 hours to figure that out. Low-key, you might be the stupidest person in the room if it took you 2 hours to figure that out. Low Kirk, you might need to be sent to remedial school if it took you that long to. It's a Twitch channel. Look at this guy. Look at how mad he got. Oh, so I'm stupid. You made my point, bitch. Why are you so mad? Guys, be nice to him. This is the guy who got pulled over. 2012 account, dude. 40-year-old divorcee. Okay? He's literally going to lose the kids because he's drunk driving and he can't walk in a straight line. Lane! Be nice to him. Okay? Please. Have some respect for the boys in blue. Please. Are we really doing this, Lane? Oh, God. Anyways. Alrighty. Let's go to bed, Grandpa. Yeah. Alright. Now. Dude, this shit. I was debating showing you guys this. Her husband just died, SMH. Dude, hi, Kirk. This lady kind of crazy with it. Twerk for Kirk. Hashtag, dude. Who the fuck is that? I don't know, but I like everyone saying it's Erica Kirk. Oh, so women can't even have hobbies anymore. Unbelievable. Unfucking believable. Oh, God forbid a woman's life doesn't revolve around a man for 2 seconds. Fucking God forbid, dude. Jesus. You guys are just so misogynistic. It's fucked up, man. It's really fucked up. Okay, I don't remember exactly how we got so far off the topic, but we did end up getting really, really far off the topic. Also, I just want to say, you know what? Shout out to this chatter. You know what? I don't feel like I gave you enough street cred. So I want to give you some street cred. I don't know how to pronounce your name. A-T-Y Pollux. Can I call you Pollux? You can say no and tell me. I just want to say, I did dunk on you a little bit with the lulz, but you know what? You apologized and you were actually really based. So, you know what? I want all chatters to be like this. I want us to be able to disagree. And I can do a little riffing and you can do a little riffing back. And you know what? Actually, good chatter. Pollux, good chatter. Thank you. Thank you for being a symbol of courage in this community. Thank you. Thank you. I know I shit on chatters a lot and I make fun of chatters a lot, but I want to point at good chatter sometimes. Because you could have gotten offended and you could have fucked off and been like, you know what? Fuck you. And you didn't do that. And instead you were like, sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. I like to stream. So respect. You showed what other people could not do, and you did it very easily. You could have been like, you know what? So I'm stupid. You made my point, bitch. So you know what? Base chatter. Fucking base chatter. And thank you, Strawman, for gifting them a sub. Thank you. Chat, as a bit of something to cut the tension, just fucking Miskiff made a tweet. Goodbye, Twitch forever. Portrays yourself as Palpatine. What did he mean by this?
It's time you fulfilled the prophecy. It's time you joined the dark side.
Portray yourself as the bad guys. What did they mean by this? Oh my God. Can I say something? Is it not giving this, chat? Is it not giving this? Is it not giving... When you were partying, I studied the blade. When you were having premarital sex, I mastered the blockchain. When you wasted your days at the gym in pursuit of vanity, I cultivated inner strength. Like, is it not giving? Is it not giving this? Somehow it's even worse. You gotta really love people portraying themselves as the bad guys and being like, dude, why does everybody hate me? What the hell? Dude, this is fucked up. It's so he can have his bots back. That's true. That's pretty true. Yeah, that's pretty true. Yeah, that's, if I could borrow apparently a Sith talking point, a Sith quote. Yeah, that's pretty true. Yep. That's pretty true. Why is it green if he's on the dark side? Well, it's supposed to be like the Kick logo is green and the Twitch logo is purple. How long until he hits the Hassan bad ripcord? Oh, great question. Great question. I don't know if we can share clips. What is this?
Exclamation point. Play. Period. Exclamation mark. Play. I will not go to kick. Period. Exclamation point. Play. Period. That's it. That's all you need to know. Why?
Dude!
I've had times where I've thought about it. I've had times where I think about it. Their owner made me try to kill myself. I will not go to kick. I'm good.
No, I fucked up, dude. I did the wrong meme. I should have.
They all just hate Jews. No, but like they don't just hate Jews, brother. They hate
Jesus, dude. It's
black
like,
people too.
Bro,
like what did not?
Okay, I don't hate black people. Like, look, this idiot. Okay, first off, I'm black.
Like how he's rapidly trying to put a thought together. Don't wait, I'm black, okay? Yeah, so is Candace Owens, one of the biggest fucking white supremacists on the planet. When George Floyd died, when he was killed, she spent a whole year talking about how he was no angel and how this is all the fault of like not putting black fathers in homes instead of talking about, I don't know, the systemic violence from fucking cops. Something, by the way, everyone should care about, white people included.
You Turk. This guy's black, and like, is anyone hating on him right here? Third, the same people who say that we hate Jews also say that you hate Jews, you fucking idiot. He's like,
okay. Yeah, and so do a lot of people who are sane. A lot of sane people say that you, at the very least, associate with people who hate Jews. If you think Nick Fuentes is not anti-Semitic, you've lost your fucking marbles. And if you're happy to associate with him, dare I bring up the Nazi bar analogy for the billionth? Everyone's already heard it. Everyone's heard. You guys have heard it so many times. I'm just a fucking broken record at this point.
It's like he's trying to be the token anti-Semite. Hey, buddy, the ADL's on your ass too. All day long, this guy talks about like the.
Oh, dude, let me guess. The ADL is the arbiter of who is and who is not anti-Semitic. So Elon Musk did not do a Sig Heil. Since that's what seems to be the metric that matters the most to you.
Hostages, and talks about his whole thing is being the Palestinian guy, right? Being the Palestinian activist. Who do you think is bombing Palestinians? And then you're gonna use the tactic. Oh, we hate.
This is why people call you anti-Semitic, Sneako. I can tell you who is bombing the Palestinians: IDF members and bloodthirsty Israelis, not Jews. What the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with you? I'm pretty sure the last polling, or like the latest polling I've seen in the United States, shows that like the youngest segment of people that identify as Jewish are more likely than not to be pro-Palestinian. The idea that like, oh, well, the people in this country, many of whom are Jewish, happen to be pro-genocide, which means what? You're an anti-Semite for pointing out that this nation state is conducting a genocide is the most nonsensical thing that you can put together. It's the most nonsensical sentence you can put together.
Hate all Jews. Really? You're going to employ the same media tactics that they're using against you? Also, how do you talk about what is the actual way? How do these libtards justify talking about Israel and Palestine all day, every day, without also talking about Judaism? They very cleverly, and at this point, it's been over 2 years since October.
That's insane. It's almost like people on the left have spent a great deal of time making sure people don't conflate Judaism or Jewish people with IDF members who happen to be Jewish. People in Israeli happening to be Jewish plays no part in anyone's judgment of them. It's, oh, look, this country is conducting a genocide on other people. In the same way that, like, if Egypt started conducting a genocide on, like, I don't know, the Iranian people, just pick any two groups, you wouldn't be like, oh, isn't it weird that all the people in Egypt are Muslim, or almost all of them are? It's like, no, what? Yeah, the people in a country are similar to each other. Okay, let me guess. French people live in France? Whoa. Next you're going to tell me Russians live in Russia. Whoa. Next you're going to tell me the majority of people that live in Japan are Japanese. I'm losing it. I'm losing every marble I own. Them being of this ethnic group or them being of this religious group is completely irrelevant. Totally and completely irrelevant. It plays no importance at all, at least to people on the left. It's a nation conducting a genocide because the people in positions of power are so fucking evil and bloodthirsty that they are happy to kill as many Palestinians as they want so that they can have the fucking land. What other reason do you have for burning down all the olive trees and olive groves? Except to eliminate these people's livelihood and their culture, forcing them to evacuate. And then you build consent, you manufacture consent with the population that lives there by pretending like It's not a genocide, and they would be better off if they just left. What religion or what ethno-religious group they are a part of is totally fucking irrelevant.
October 7th, they know what they're doing. They'll say words like, they'll say Israeli instead of Jew. They'll say Zionist instead of Jew.
Nope.
And they'll be like, look, I'm not.
Maybe you do that. That's not what any of us are doing. Maybe you do that. That's crazy if that's what you're saying. That's crazy.
Like those Nazis over there, they know what they're doing. They just want the cancel culture to go on us. The thing is, Hassan, you can't talk about Israel and Palestine without also talking about Judaism. Israel does not exist without Judaism. I know you like to say it's all about imperialism and it's all about, you know, the apartheid state. Why does it exist? Does Israel want to establish a third temple? Do they want to destroy Al-Aqsa Mosque? What's going on? Why is Netanyahu talking about destroying Rome again? Saying the biggest threat to Jews was Rome. Does he say Israel or does Netanyahu say Jews? You're being very...
Yeah, because he makes an active decision to call Israel the state of Judaism, making it so that anyone who criticizes Israel or criticizes the IDF or criticizes any Israelis is now considered anti-Semitic. Congratulations, you fucking idiot. You did exactly what he was hoping you would do when he decided to call, or like that the nation of Israel, or that the founders of Israel wanted. Oh, we're the nation of Judaism. We're the nation for Jewish people. You don't hate Jewish people, do you? Because that would be anti-Semitic. It's like, congratulations, dude. Literally, congrats. The entire idea that you must conflate Judaism and Jewish people with Israelis or the state of Israel is anti-Semitic. Fell Forward Award. Congratulations, idiot, dumbass. Oh my God. And also an important thing to note, there are far more Christian Zionists than Jewish Zionists. Well, by his logic, guess who supports the state of Israel more than anyone else? Christian Zionists. Well, I guess you hate all Christians then. It's like, what? No. What the fuck is wrong with, like, do you hear yourself speaking?
Very selective, and it's this strategic way so that not only you don't get banned, but also so you could throw people who are actually on the front line spreading the message that you pretend like you're spreading. You just throw them under the bus.
Who's being
Us,
thrown?
me.
You're throwing. Great rage bait, bro. Great rage bait. Great rage bait, bro. It's fucking 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10. Oh my God. You know, I will say nothing will top. There is no Sneako clip that will ever top this Sneako clip. Not the one of him talking about like him getting cucked or whatever. That one was really weird. Not that one. If you guys are thinking of that one, not that one. I'm talking about the this one.
We all know Sneako as the big red pill content creator, and a lot of people don't like him because of his strong views. And this video is going viral right now of Sneako and his young fans. People are mad about this video because content creators, they influence kids like no other. And Sneako has these kids saying the craziest things at their ages. Like they're 12, 10 years old saying this stuff.
What?
Sneako. We love women. We love women. We love women.
But not like transgenders. All gay shit.
I don't even know why he looks so...
Why are you throwing me under the bus? My legacy would be so good if not for people like you throwing me under the bus. I'm on the front lines teaching kids how to be homophobic, and you would do this to me? You would throw me under the bus? I am the most moral person that's ever been born. How dare you throw me under the bus? How fucking dare you? God, dude, these people. I keep closing tabs back to this, but I don't want to stop. Oh God, Jesus. Oh my God. I really need a version of Vio's emote. I need a denim jiggle. I need a denim jiggle so bad. Okay, I'm gonna close it. Some head slop for you guys. Okay. I'm done. Dude, low Kirk. This skin looks crazy. Not to start small talk with AI, but I want this skin. And I'm not joking. I would be worried about the horns peeking through, giving away your location. Stop saying low Kirk. You can't make me, Mom. I will.
Outside, ground's freezing over, days turn short. Up there, light's a fickle thing. Often means someone's in trouble or that I'm about to be. But sometimes, light shines upon us.
Want to go together?
Maybe something about these candleberries. It's that time of the year. I guess it makes coming home a bit...
Why is Sydney Sweeney doing the voiceover?
Easier.
No. Okay, low Kirk, I'm so excited, but I'm still like anywhere from half a mil to a mil off of the 5 mil. I am low Kirk, a little bit off. All right. Get farming. Hi, Kirk. Sorry, you're right. I need to get farming. I'm close. I'm close, guys. This is actually the first time that I've approved of a Merriam-Webster word of the year. Merriam-Webster's human editors, have chosen slop as the 2025 word of the year. Yup. Yup, dude. Yup. Unfortunately, real. Slop has been a great word. Slop has been a great word with a lot of useful implications.
Denims is streaming.
Ugh, more dictionary slop. Shut up. I am streaming. Communist toothbrush. Thank you for the 5 gift subs. I had bowl slop for lunch today. Yeah. I just don't understand why I won't get any wife slop. Why? Okay. Okay. There is another thing that I was considering.